Florida LSU pick here as we get to previewing it now. This is it's not even bittersweet. This is just bitter. We talked about it yesterday and earlier in the show. I talked about at the beginning of the show. What am I saying? This is a game we expected to be the game of the week. Two undefeated teams. Even if we struggled, we still should have beat USF. And it's like, we're just sandbagging those two games and we're saving it for LSU. And hey, I fully expect Caleb Banks and Dallas Wilson and, LJ McCray to get a bigger role. We played a couple snaps yesterday. So I expect us to be fully healthy here to go. Although we don't know if Lagway's even healthy from what he's been playing like. But yeah, it's annoying to pick this game now because fundamentally I still have similar feelings about our team besides Lagway that I did heading into this LSU game. And all offseason, I've been saying LSU I think is overrated. I think this is a game we go into Death Valley, and I think we could win this by pretty comfortably. But now it's like we have that loss, and I feel like it would be a bit naive to have us lose to USF, then pick us to go and beat LSU. But it's like I still have a lot of questions about LSU. I mean, their offense has 17 points against Clemson. It's a tough game at Clemson. Like, you win those tough games, but then Clemson struggled last night. We saw that. So who knows if Clemson's a tough game. And they go and put up 10 points at half against Louisiana Tech last night. And they're able to come back. Didn't they get a pick six as well in the second half? Or they had some play. I think they had some big play. That's like kind of not fluky, but you know what I'm saying there.
Yeah, I honestly paid very little attention to that game last night. They had a touchdown in the fourth quarter. But yeah, Nussmeier did throw a pick. And then, I don't know. Not sure. There wasn't like a pick.
Yeah, it was only 23-7. Like,
yeah, it was 23-7.
But like LSU, it's like that offense really did struggle in that game, and I didn't pay attention to it too much. I mean, because when we finished our show, this game went to halftime, and I tuned in to watch it a little bit, and Nussmeier, he was making some really boneheaded decisions. I mean, I think when I started watching it, they were in the red zone maybe, and he just goes out, he scrambles out, and he's throwing his receiver the back of the end zone, like very back of the end zone. And, maybe if his receiver is Calvin Johnson and he throws it up, can he go up and get that pass? I'm not sure he was throwing it to, but he scrambles out, throws a pass that probably should have been intercepted, and he didn't even throw it up. Like, he threw it just straight, and if it's straight and the DB's in front of the receiver, he's basically throwing it straight to the DB there. But I still have a lot of questions about Nussmeier. I mean, throwing 41 passes for 237 yards against Louisiana Tech. This offense, I really am concerned, or I still really don't like this offense for LSU.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. I mean, I think our defense has looked all right. I mean, I think this will test us downfield in a way that obviously LIU didn't, because that's a gadget offense, like option offense team. And then USF really didn't either, because like you said, they were doing a lot of quick stuff. A lot of their offense was just Byron Brown breaking containment and just being a menace to try to bring down. I mean, I think
that.
No, he won't. I think LSU can have some. I think Florida can have some defensive success against LSU here. It's just like, I just circle back to, if that's what you're putting out on offense, you will not win this game. And I think LSU's defense could be really good. I mean, granted, maybe we don't feel very good about Cade Klubnik and the Clemson offense now. I mean, maybe, but I mean, like, this was an LSU team that for the past couple of years have been getting torched by even bad teams that they would play. And they pretty clearly look to be much improved. I think the defensive front specifically looks much improved. I mean, I think the pressure that they've shown that they can bring could really impact Lagway, especially if he's still just kind of in this, I guess, a fog, you could say.
Sophomore slump.
Yeah, I mean, just a mental fog. Yeah, I mean, this too, I think the offensive line has played pretty well for LSU. I think that is, which was a major concern, probably the biggest concern on the entire roster for them.
have they played a D line that's going to get? I mean, we thought.
I mean, dude, Clemson
has
Clemson has 2 first-round picks on its defensive line.
We talked about it last week with Peter Woods, and it's like looked at it last year. It's like still a bunch of I'll give their offensive line credit. I still trust our D line, and I mean, someone mentioned it earlier in the chat. I was going to get to this. Backup center, their starting center is going to be out for this game.
Yeah,
and tight end, but yeah.
So I think their backup center is DJ Chester, who was their starting center last year. And DJ Chester was not great. Obviously, they're only returning starter on the offensive line, and he's not starting this year. So that's a concern. If they don't have him, I mean, I don't think not having the center is going to be like what makes the difference in this game. But LSU offensively also not really running the ball super well to this point in the season. Kind of has been a problem throughout the Brian Kelly era when they haven't had Jaden Daniels as being an 1,100-yard rusher at quarterback. They really haven't been able to have a very successful run game. So I think that's a concern. I mean, I think if you still believe Florida's front seven is a strength, which I think it at least could be, then I think, it's fair to believe that I think Florida could maybe cause some problems for them offensively. It's just, it boils back to just having very little faith. I mean, Sam, like maybe it might be better than Clemson's. I mean, I think certainly most people thought coming into the year that Clemson's would be better. We really still don't know. There's a lot of things we don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm willing to buy that Florida's defense could give some problems to LSU, especially up front. I just go back to if this offense doesn't improve, if DJ Lagway is still missing throws, and if just in general we're not running an offense that takes advantage of what he's good at, I don't really see what's going to happen, because I think the book is out. I think the book is out on how you stop this Florida team. I think USF figured it out. I think Tulane kind of figured it out. And they cause problems. I think, dropping guys into coverage, stacking the box to take the run away. I think LSU is going to watch film and see what other teams have done to, slow down Florida's offense, to cause DJ Lagway to make mistakes. And if we don't come out looking sharper, looking more deliberate, and just frankly Lagway playing better football, being more accurate, yeah. Oh, Rob, you're saying UF. Yeah, I mean that too. Yeah, I mean, I think LSU's offensive line has played well, but also Florida's not really getting pressure, and that's kind of what I was talking about earlier when it comes to the USF game. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was just saying, Tyler, that I don't know how much you heard, but I just question, I think the book is kind of out on how you slow down this Florida offense and cause problems for DJ Lagway. I think it's a pretty clear formula that if you can replicate it, you can be pretty successful defensively against this team.
Rob, I was saying UF has only 1 sack in 2 games. We just don't have many opportunities to get sacks.
Yeah, I mean, LIU wasn't dropping back, so
no. And I mean, Byron Brown broke contain a couple times, but there's probably 1 or 2 plays really where he avoided a sack with his legs. I mean, he threw. I mentioned earlier where Jaden Woods hits him as he throws the ball, and pretty sure that was an incomplete pass on a 3rd down. So it was a nice play there. Rob, it automatically sets here. I'll show you here. When we join the stream app, it automatically sets an avatar, and the last person to use this was using that one. So here, I'll show you right here. I changed it now, so
he's lying. Rob, don't listen to him. He's a secret sleeper Ohio State fan. Don't listen to him. He's lying.
I told you that with confidence.
Oh man,
no.
Yeah. I don't think that this is an impossible matchup for Florida. It's not the way I felt going into the Texas game last year, where I was there's just 0 chance this is happening.
Yep.
But I do feel like it could be a pretty uphill battle here if you get what you got from Lagway in the offense last night.
That's my key to this game. If we get the Lagway we've seen weeks 1 and 2, and again, I don't really take away too much from an LIU game. I'm more focused on what happened last night. If we get the Lagway from last night, this is a game LSU should win because our offense. They're just going to sell it for the run, and Lagway's probably going to miss some throws. Maybe we don't get some overturn to call us, but it's also their defensive line. they should be able to stop the run if they're not too worried about the pass. And if we get the Lagway from last night, they probably aren't going to be too worried about the pass. I mean, Luke's and stuff can happen. And hey, Sam just said, what do you expect in the press conference? I'll say I don't expect Billy to hand over play calling, which is also something that could change the game. But
I'll say I expect the same thing we've gotten from every single Billy Napier press conference for 4 years now, which is, well, we need to get better. A lot we need to clean up and keep working together as a group. We need to execute better. We need to stay together, but I think we got a good group that cares and works. Like, that's what he's going to say.
I am 100% content winning this game 27.
We won by 10. If we won by 10, I wouldn't be particularly critical of Billy. Yeah.
if we win 27-17, I mean, if we win this game, half the argument's going to be LSU's overrated, which I do think they're overrated.
Yeah, and I think that will be the narrative. I think most people will be saying LSU's not as good.
Yeah.
LSU's not as good as we thought. Not okay. Maybe we jumped the gun on Florida. I think it'll be much more of the former.
Especially if Georgia Tech beats Clemson. Now, if Clemson beats Georgia Tech, then maybe it's like that's the key to this game. It's Lagway, and I mean, I think we can still win this game because I don't really trust that LSU offense. Like I don't trust ours, and I think we have I still think we have the better players on defense. Caleb Banks could have some ring rust. I mean. But he's a 2-year starter as well, so it's not like he's someone who started 7 games. I mean, he started 2 years worth of games here at Florida. So, ring rust could happen. I've seen people say ring rust isn't a thing. Might be a thing with Lagway, might not be a thing with Lagway. Yeah, maybe we'll find out. But I still like our defensive, our high end on defense, and I don't think this LSU defense is going to hit explosive plays on us. Unless our safety takes our corner out of the play for whatever reason again. But I don't think they're going to hit some big runs because we're not going to have to worry about the QB run unless Garrett Nussmeier just turns into Michael Vick all of a sudden. But I don't foresee that happening unless, maybe he had a genie who gave him 3 wishes and one of the wishes was to become like Lamar Jackson there. But I think our defense is going to keep us in this game, but can our offense do something? And maybe Lagway struggles and maybe they just run the ball 50 times and maybe it works, and handing the ball off to Jaden Ball and not giving him like 5 carries after he had averaged 10 yards per carry on the first drive is something that works really well for us, even if Lagway's struggling. And then it's, maybe you do have a different notion about this team and hopefully we continue doing that. But yeah, I feel like if Lagway isn't back to what we thought, or even what he was last year, this is a game LSU probably should win, but I could see LSU losing this game based on some things. Like, I don't know if Lagway is going to, I don't think Lagway is going to make a game-changing pick 6 or something like that. Like, I'll say Lagway hasn't been good, but I don't think he's been bad. I think our offensive line's also been pretty good in pass protection. I thought it was pretty good in pass protection yesterday. Yeah. So it's like, I don't think we're going to see Lagway make some losing play as much as I think we could see him make just 0
miss the plays. Yeah, which is what the problem was. Yeah, I mean, I think it is funny that all the things we talked about from the Long Island game, like, oh, it was Long Island, but maybe this is a concern, really didn't end up being concerns yesterday. No. Like, we talked a lot about the offensive line. The offensive line was the least of Florida's problems last night. I mean, I think Florida, like, if they were a normal offense, Florida should be able to run the ball on this team. I think Florida should be able to run the ball on anyone. But the problem is when you don't have a legitimate passing offense, which Florida really didn't yesterday, again, they're just going to put 8-9 in the box and just take it away. And believe me, if USF and Todd Orlando can figure that out, I guarantee you LSU and Blake Baker and those guys are going to figure it out. So, like, I think you have to open up the run with the pass. Like, Lagway has to be able to make plays so they don't just sell out 100% to stop the run. If that happens, Florida can win this game because Florida's defense is good enough to win this game. Mm-hmm. I just think that is asking for a version of Lagway and the offense that we haven't seen through 2 weeks. And I'm not sure there's a major reason to think it's coming in this game on the road at night in Death Valley.
All a win does is stop the talk. I mean, that's really what it should do. I mean,
that's all one win does. Maybe if you start stacking them, that changes. But yeah, Like, I think
It's
if you
like
lose to if you beat LSU but then go lose to Miami, I think we're functionally right back where we are now.
then you're probably playing to the Georgia game and seeing what happens there. I mean, if you beat
Yeah.
LSU, lose to Miami, like you're probably gonna beat Mississippi State still, like because it shows that this is still a team. Like we could lose to Miami, we could beat LSU, lose Miami by like one score or something, and then
Yeah.
I mean we'll see what happens against Texas and Texas A&M at that point, but probably still gonna beat Mississippi State, and then we'll see what happens against Georgia, and that probably decides Billy's future.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah. I mean, it probably buys him 3 weeks or something if you win this game. But like ultimately, if you are 2-2 after Miami with the losses being Miami and South Florida, I don't think anyone feels particularly confident.
Yeah, and they took balls so stupid with the past game. I assume you mean wasn't working. And I don't honestly I like Jackson. I think he should still get carries. He's had some pretty nice moments as well yesterday. I think a bigger problem is the play calling when you're running into a 9-man box. Like you're not giving Jacoby Jackson much of a chance there. And also, I hope we just get our solid 5 because we're playing Cam Waits. All the talk has been hyped about Rod Kearney. He did not have a good game. I'm pretty sure Rod Kearney was like our worst graded PFF player on the offensive line from that game. Actually, Bryce Levette was our 5th highest graded offensive player. Really? So he had a really good bounce back game. But yeah, I feel like we need to stick with our 5 unless you have to rest them. And you're gonna have to play some guys every now and then, but I'm tired. I don't want to see our backups in there on the second drive like I did yesterday, second and third drive. Like I thought our starting 5 did really well, and I feel like we need to keep with that unless there's reasons not to keep with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's not a personnel issue on offense. It really isn't.
No.
The entire run operation is good when they're not putting 8 in the box, obviously. The blocking is good. The pass pro is good. I mean, receivers will see. I mean, I will say Trey making an impact downfield was nice to see. That was an encouraging element of the performance from yesterday. Yeah. But it ultimately just boils down to Lagway and the execution in the passing game. And, I think LSU secondary might be pretty improved from what it's been the last few years. Still too early to say that. And again, Klubnik not looking great either, not looking certainly as good as people thought he would. So your mileage may vary on how impressive that week 1 game looks in retrospect. But like, I think ultimately, like this will be, I think they're better than USF and, but it wasn't even USF shutting down the passing game. It was just missing plays. Will those plays be there next week? Probably not as easily as they were this week, but there's plays to be made. I don't think that, like I said, I wasn't at the game. I'd be curious if anyone in the replies or in the comments was at the game and feels the same way. But I told you this before we even went live. I think I heard from people who were at the game that there were guys open. There were reads missed when Lagway would hold on the ball for too long. So
yeah, I told you I told you a couple plays I noticed where you could see them, and there's also play. I mean, we can't see down the field. You can only see like the 20 yards the camera shows you. Yeah. There was one play where it looks like TJ Abrams, he had a step, and I'd assume he still was going to be able to create more separation down the field based on, just corner play and wide receiver play, speed and all that stuff. So where it feels like Lagway probably makes that throw, attempts that throw at least last year where he scrambles out the pocket for, I think he gets like 1 yard maybe on that play. But yeah, I think if Lagway doesn't play better, then the offense is going to be what it was against USF. I mean, maybe we don't get some unlucky plays that result in us kicking field goals instead of touchdowns, but there's also going to be less plays available. So we just need, it's really just Lagway playing better. I mean,
yeah,
I don't think there's anything that could change our minds. Like, even if the only thing that could even have an impact on this game where they could say this is happening is like Billy announced that he's stepping down from play calling. And even then, it's like, I don't know if maybe play calling was the problem for Lagway, and he just wasn't comfortable, and it's just some rust. And now he's week 3, he's ready to go and new play calling. But even then, I feel like Lagway's has some other exterior issues.
I mean, I'll stand by. I think what I said last night, I think I said it last night when we went live, is right. And I think I stand by this is how I feel about the game, which is that Lagway was the reason that whether we won or lost that game, we were going to come on last night and today and be not super optimistic about where the team is at. Billy's the reason they ultimately lost the game, because we shouldn't be talking about a loss. We should be talking about a really ugly win that gives us concerns going into Saturday, but we shouldn't be talking about a loss. And it's Billy Napier's fault that we're talking about a loss. So,
I mean, yeah, that's it exactly. I mean, Sam, Lagway not being able to practice in the spring and fall hurt showed sorry, let me read that. Lagway not being able to practice in the spring and fall hurt, and it showed. But now that he's had practice weeks and 2 games, I think he'll be ready. I'm just worried that it's something he can't control.
It feels like he's like in a major slump right now. Like
and I'm not sure if the slump is a slump or the injury.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, whether it's him not feeling 100%, whether it's he's just like seeing ghosts, whether it's he doesn't. I mean, I think it could be literally as simple as he hasn't been throwing the football for 9 months, and
it could be.
And he needs to work on timing and get comfortable with these receivers. Like, it really could be that simple. Like, I'm not out on Lagway. I think Lagway will play good college football again at some point in his career, whether it's here or elsewhere. But right now, I don't know if that's something you can fix. Certainly not in a week. I certainly think it'd be tough to fix that in a week, but I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know.
And
yeah, I mean, Sam, he said that, but
I've just, I can't say
your eyes.
Much.
I mean,
I saw someone on Twitter. I saw someone on Twitter also saying that they were at the game and it looked like he couldn't plant that left foot, which is a big part of being able to get under throws and being comfortable in a pocket. And, I haven't checked, and maybe it's not the foot, because I also think it could be the shoulder from what I've heard, but and maybe we're just making up stuff, but yeah, I mean,
I think
RQ here, Lagway is mid. He might be, but it's also like Lagway was better last year. Like,
he's regressed, and that's why I think Billy Napier gets the blame, because he's regressed, and there's no excuse for it.
Like, Lagway last year wasn't mid, and it's like, if you look at the box score, sure, but on the field, like, if you watch the games, like, it's clear Lagway has regressed, and I don't care that he now has 5 touchdowns to 1 pick, right? I think that's it. Or, no, 4 touchdowns to 1 pick.
4 touchdowns to 1 pick, yeah.
Like, I'd still rather have the 9 interceptions with how we played last year than what we have now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think, I don't think Lagway is mid, obviously, but it's just, and again, I mean, I know you have some things you don't want to like divulge. I don't have any inside information. I'm just literally going off what I saw with my eyes. I mean, there's something going on, and I think, I mean, honestly, I don't want to I'm not saying this in an accusatory way because I don't know anything, but just from the outside looking in, to me, it feels like there might have been some mismanagement injury-wise going on this offseason. I don't know. It just minor injuries lingering and causing problems that I feel like shouldn't be. And again, I don't know anything. This is not me saying the coaching staff or the training staff did anything wrong. I just am curious because it seems to me like these are things that shouldn't be impacting him for months and months at a time.
It could be in his head. Like, it is possible.
It could be. I mean, he could be he might just be seeing ghosts. Yeah.
Yeah. Poor play calling. Oh yeah, this is right here. Poor play. Look at F. Do y'all remember when FSU hired Gus? Like, majority
not
of
well
people,
regarded.
This was not a well-received hiring. Like, Gus was after probably his worst 2 years in coaching at UCF. Like, hindsight's 2020. But like, if we were to go and hire someone that was perceived as Gus was, like, I mean, I don't think Billy. If we're in that position, I don't think Billy's the coach here. But it's also like,
I mean, I fully believe
be a bad decision.
I fully believe Florida should have hired an OC. I said it earlier. Florida should have hired an OC after 2023. Florida should have hired an OC 2 off seasons ago. But like, I would also say, like, Norvell hiring an OC wasn't that they went 2-10 and he had an epiphany of self-awareness. They made him. You had to do it. You get pressured to do it, and Billy's not under that same pressure. Yeah. Billy's not under. I mean, maybe he should be. I'm not saying he shouldn't be, but I think it's pretty clear Scott Strickland has never at any point put that kind of pressure on Billy Napier.
You don't care who it is. You don't care if you're a bad OC. You just want it to not be Billy. I
think Billy is a bad OC, and I think his career track record backs that up, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I think he's got a pretty unimpressive prior career as an offensive play caller. Just being real.
I've said things like I still don't know if I'm saying he's a horrible OC. I think it's like I think he's going to be fired at the end of this year, and I don't want to come out here and sound like I'm defending Billy Napier, but like, is a better OC fixing what Lagway did last night? Maybe. I mean, probably running the ball better, but it's also like, if Lagway is still going to miss those passes, I mean, that out route with on our last drive there, like, is a bad OC, say they call that, our good OC calls that play and Lagway still misses a throw. Does that make him a bad OC because they missed a throw? Like,
yeah, that's fair. I do think Michael here, though, makes an interesting point kind of related to that, which is like, I do think it's pretty obvious they don't trust him to throw the ball, air it out downfield the way he was last year. Now, maybe that's because he can't do it right now. And maybe that's the case. He shouldn't be playing. Like, he shouldn't, if you don't trust him to go be the DJ Lagway we saw last year, then like Tramel Jones needs to be playing in these games. And I'm not saying I want that necessarily. And yeah, Kenny Dabo did fire Billy. That is the thing that happened.
Yeah, he fired him, 14 years ago now?
That was a long time. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I'm sure he learned a lot from it. But it's just like, even at Arizona State, he was never a great play caller. He was never...
We need to make our predictions here on this LSU game.
Yeah,
sorry.
We're going long. We're going long.
Yeah, we need to make our predictions here on the LSU game.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first here because, we've talked about it enough. Like, I think this will be a close game, but I think there's a world where we lose a close game and it's like fire. I mean, I think it's fire Billy, really, if we lose no matter what. But I think there's two different worlds here where it's a close game, we lose to LSU, and both teams look better. Both teams look good. And it's like, he's not going to be fired before the Miami game, but he could get that Miami game, which will get him the Texas and Texas A&M and Georgia game where, then he could save it. But I think there's also the world here where it's a close game where we lose or we even win, where it's like, yeah, this team just isn't going to be it this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I see a wide range of outcomes with this game. I think it could be like a sort of a game like, do you remember that Missouri game? And like, I think it was 2014, the year they fired Muschamp, where it was just like ugly. It was awful. It was the final straw. I think something like that could happen. I think Florida could find a way to win this game. I think Florida, if they win this game, I think they're going to have to win it kind of ugly. I think more like, even if they play better, I think that's just kind of the way these two teams are both built, is to kind of win ugly. There you go. Have them both come out.
Like, of course.
I mean, we said like 1-11.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take that. We'll get.
Okay, I was just saying 1-11 is a possibility. We said I don't think either is going to happen, but no. Getting into prediction though, like I don't think Florida will get embarrassed in this game. I don't think LSU, frankly, is really built to embarrass Florida in this game. Like I just don't think that's how this LSU team is constructed.
I think this is like the max LSU could win by.
Yeah,
like, I think that's like a good like worst case scenario.
And D, you kind of sniped me a little bit because I'll get into my prediction, but it's not far off from that. So I mean, I just, the fact of the matter is
Florida.
The fact of the matter is, like, while this offense is what it is, I can literally cannot confidently pick Florida. I have zero confidence in this team to win games like this until I see them show that they can, in 2025, put out an offensive product that's better than what we've seen. And I just can't say I believe they're going to do that here. So I've got LSU like 28-13. It's kind of where I'm at.
28-13. Okay. Yeah. I see the world where Florida wins this game. I can see the world where Florida wins this game by multiple scores. Like, I don't think that's crazy to see. Like, if Lagway plays like the Lagway we expected, it's like, this is a game we could definitely win by 2 scores from what we've seen from this LSU team. But I can't project that because it just hasn't happened.
We haven't seen it. Yeah.
So I'm going to take LSU. I think LSU is going to win a lower scoring game, like 24-21.
Okay.
I mean, maybe like 27-21 or something like that. I mean, I think LSU. I'm gonna predict LSU to win this lower scoring game, but I'm gonna hope that maybe and that a low scoring game like 27-21. Not throwing a pick six gives Florida a win there. It's like I think even if Lagway doesn't play up to what we thought he could, like the defense can keep us in it, and I think LSU could have some negative plays that give Florida easy points. So, but I'm gonna still pick them to win because I feel like it would be a bit naive to say that and then pick us to win. But yeah, I'm gonna pick LSU, but it's also like I hope there's still that world where Lagway can come out Saturday night and go back to what it was. And Dallas Wilson, maybe he could play a big factor in this game as well. I haven't really mentioned him at all, but it's like, can the receivers do anything if the QB can't get them the ball?
Yeah, I mean, it's the problem. It really all boils down to Lagway, and we both know he's capable of playing at a level where Florida can win this game, but he hasn't so far in 25. And until he does post injuries, I don't. That's a lot of points, Dylan. I mean, I'm not even saying like I think that margin is not unthinkable. 38 points feels like a lot from LSU, don't you think?
I feel like the only way LSU score more than like 30 points in this game is if we give them touchdowns.
Yeah.
Which, like Lagway's throwing pick six. It's possible.
Which should be fair. I mean, Lagway, his pick last night, it's not, the reads are not bad. He's missing things, but he's not like, I don't think he's really throwing dangerous passes to the extent that he was last year.
Like he didn't throw it.
Like that pick was not a bad read. Like that pick was a fine. I'm okay with him taking that shot in one-on-one coverage. It was not the best ball. It needed to come out better. But I mean, I don't think that was like a horrendous decision.
Yeah, I mean, he missed a throw. It's like probably shouldn't have thrown that, but it's also like it's not like he just didn't see a safety or something like that. Like just missed a throw, and it wasn't really a pick. But yeah, it's not like he's throwing it straight into a corner's hands or anything like that. So I don't. I said it from last season. Like I don't think Lagway really is going to have an interception issue. Like I mean, with his development and. From last year, I don't think it was as bad as the 9 picks made it look like. But, yeah, I think Lagway's, like, going to play either right here, whereas Lagway's going to play like he did against LSU last year and boost his confidence, which could do.
I hope.
Which probably would save Billy's job. But
yeah.
If he doesn't, like, I think he's going to play hesitant football. LSU probably gets a couple sacks. I mean, I don't know how good their pass rush is yet. I also know how good our O-line is yet, but it's like if Lagway plays like he did against USF, like probably get sacked a couple times. Maybe they force an interception on a Lagway trying to do some Superman type of play there, but I don't think it's going to be Lagway forcing too much stuff unless the game's already over.
Yeah, Kenny, this I think there are some similarities here to the way we were under Muschamp, but I will say one difference between the two. Muschamp hired 3 different offensive play callers in 4 years. None of them were good, but he tried to get that side of the ball right.
Some similarities. Jeff Driscoll led us to 11-1 in 2012.
Yeah.
And then he gets hurt, and now he's had a long NFL career, but like he was not the same player after that injury. And, it's not like he was elite in 2012, but like going from 11-1 to what, 4-7, or was it 4-8, 4-7, whatever it was.
Yeah, 4-8.
Like it's a pretty big difference there, and I hope that's not what we're getting here from Lagway. Although Lagway having a 10+ year-long NFL career is not too bad for him.
No, I think he would. Well, I don't know if he would take that because I'm sure he has higher aspirations.
Yeah, I mean,
I think if you asked any of these guys, I think if you asked any like former 5-star who makes a long career as an NFL backup, if they're happy with how things played out, I think they'd probably say they are at the end of their career.
Also, slow offense. Like those first, we had only 3 drives, and it's like blame the defense, blame the offense. Like they were driving down the field. Like I feel like that's something that.
But he is right though. We don't go tempo, and I think that's something that would maybe make things easier for DJ.
Difference. I think it's also like a philosophical difference. I mean, now, would you rather? Have like 3 drives, score 3 touchdowns, have 21 points, or would you rather have like 6 drives, maybe score 3 touchdowns and 21 points? Like, But the defense maybe even gave up 3 touchdowns. Like,
I don't think that's the point here. I mean, I don't want to speak for Michael, but like, I think it's more about you run tempo, you implement some of those Russ air raid concepts. Maybe that helps get DJ more comfortable in the passing game because those are one read, quick passes, get the ball out to an open guy in space. I think Florida's offense could use more of that, and it doesn't really have that right now.
no, I mean,
other than the screen game, which the screen game has been pretty unimpressive so far.
Yeah, but you have we both have LSU winning this game here. I don't think that's really comes as a surprise to anyone. I hope that to get proven wrong because I do see the world where we do. It's like it's on Lagway, and it's like it's one player decides everything, but it's also like it doesn't because the defense still has to play well. The players are offensive line has to block and stuff like that. But it's like if your QB is going to go out there and be a 0, it doesn't matter.